Hey, what's up guys? A little break in the COVID bonus videos. Let's put on the record. A little break in the COVID bonus videos because I ran out of shit to ramble about. They'll pick up. The playlist, however, continues because this is Black Curse, Endless Wounds, Primitive Man. I was going to do, if you look in the liner notes for the last one, I was going to do Denver's Hardest, but that proved to be a, yeah, I had to do some, or I have to do some research on that one because they are all over the place. The reason I couldn't do it because yesterday Endless Wound killed my stereo, and I still don't know what's going on. I rewired everything as good as I can. Speaker works when the tape plays, but not when the record player plays. So it's not the boxes, it's not the tape deck or the amp, so it must be the speaker or the needle. So if you are a audio freak, is it possible that one speaker plays because of a setting on a turntable, or maybe the needle is on the frets? I'm not sure. Speaker works, so I don't know. That was my main thing I did yesterday, except for when it was my time to have time. What this is a collection update. Going through the collection now. I realized we left off last time at Judas Priest, and what else was there? I can't remember. Now I reordered some of the records, or I retooled some of the record bins. So there is the Guns N' Roses, the Alice Cooper and the Metallicas, and Exodus right after that, but I guess I recently showed those. So I'm skipping those to dive into this one. We're going into Trash, I guess. And then Trash should have gone into Death Metal, but Death Metal is now a separate section, so maybe that will be a different video, I'm not sure. After this we'll delve into Tribulation, In Solitude, Watsane, stuff like that, and then into Black Metal. So we're skipping Death Metal for now, but that can be a COVID bonus to go through one. There's one box of Death Metal. Enough of that. The first thing I was going to show you, or I am going to show you, is Queensryche with Night of the Reich, Knight Rider, Blinded, and The Lady Wore Black. Their EP, if you will. Four tracks on here, like I said. Absolutely love Queensryche. This is a band, some would say a guilty pleasure. I'm just wholeheartedly in it since, I don't know, since I was a very young kid. This is actually one of the records from my dad. We have Operation Mindcrime. I said, because the collection is kind of all over the place. Some is there, some is here. Most is here. But yeah, we don't have Operation Mindcrime, which is a mind crime in itself. We had it on CD, but I never picked up the vinyl because that's a record I just want to find one day, and hopefully in the wild. This is one of the EPs that was previous to Mindcrime, and this is from, it's a Holland print. If you want to be in the forefront of the campaign, write to Queensryche at Bellevue in USA. I don't see a year directly on here, but the haircuts suggest this is smack dab in the middle of the 80s. What else would it be? Like I said, this is an EMI America, but a Dutch pressing of that record. And looking at this, I'm not really sure if it is my dad's copy or I just picked it up somewhere, because there is no stamp on here or indication that it's this copy. Opens up like a disco sleeve in the top. I'm not sure they all did, but yeah, Queensryche is a proggy. It's not hair metal, because maybe they started as hair metal, but like when they did Operation Mindcrime, or maybe one before that, it kind of, it's not prog, but it's proggy in the sense that Operation Mindcrime is definitely one of the, yeah, the most well-known or well-rounded concept albums about a, it's about a guy that has kind of lost his mind, but he doesn't know if he lost his mind because he's in the hospital and he's not in the hospital, and he killed a nun and he's in love with the nun, and I don't know, man, the priest is in it for some reason. I'll talk about it more when that record comes in. Expect a video just on that one, because I've been listening to that since, I don't know, man, since I didn't know what I was singing. A salute and a special thanks to Paul Sutter and Kerrang! Magazine in London. Queensryche. Empire is good. I go all the way. Promised Land, maybe. Is it Promised Land? That was called. Empire is maybe the cutoff, and then one more. It has a few good tracks. The next one, I think it's called Promised Land. But yeah, Mindcrime. Mindcrime 2, not so much. But yeah. Here, one of my first vinyl acquisitions, or first things I bought on records. I don't know where I got it from, which is a shame because, you know, one of the first pickups, and I have no idea where I got it. Normally, the story is in my head, and I know where to place it, but this is Life Undead, the EP by, well, this is a compilation EP by Slayer. It is the Life Undead and Hunting the Chapel, I think. Side 2 is a studio recording, side 1 is a live recording. So Black Magic, Die by the Sword, Chapter of Sin, and then Hunting the Chapel, Antichrist, and Fight Till Death, 85. So imagine this would be around the same time the Queensryche record came out. Now I have to check the year, just to see the timeline. It should be on the central label somewhere. Come on. God damn it. 83. So Queensryche with their EP, and then 2 years later you have this monster. Slayer pulled out from, I won't say they started out hair metal, but it's like Pantera, which will show up. If you look at their first records or their first promo pictures, even here, Carrie has this Iron Maiden-ish studded. Yeah, it's not hair metal, but it comes from that heavy metal background. That hair metal is in it, but this is what they say grunge killed it. I think bands like Slayer had a hand in killing that shit too. Well, shit, that style of metal too. Life Undead, so yeah, Haunting the Chapel is a track that was haunting me for a while. This is on Roadrunner, and this is a Belgian Benelux pressing, I guess. Yeah, Netherlands. And then there's a whole list of distribution networks. This is a Roadrunner pressing, white label with the red Roadrunner. There we go. Very clean copy. Like I said, I have no idea where I picked this up. But yeah, cool to have. Nonetheless, I dedicated a installation to that Haunting the Chapel, a installation I did in a chapel somewhere in Belgium. So that was cool. Then I don't have anything else Slayer-wise on vinyl loose, because I have shit on CD and I had it on tape. So I never really bought it. There was once a Show No Mercy at a what's it called? A Kringloop, a second-hand shop. So I was over the moon because I don't find shit there. And then it turned out it was just a sleeve, and I was so bummed that I let it stay there. I should have bought it too. Frame would be awesome, but you know. So bummed there was no vinyl in there. I was, you know, ready to pay, and the woman behind the counter said, you know, there's no record in there. So okay. Went back and looked for it, but it was gone. What I do have, and I picked this up a few years ago, is the vinyl Conflict. So I kind of lied, and I do have some Slayer vinyl, but this is like cheating and getting everything all at once. It is quite comprehensive. It is the America Records, or the American Records. So a lot of Rick Rubin produced stuff in here. I'll go over the checklist. It's World Painted Blood. Then there's Christ's Illusion, God Hates Us All, Diabolos in Musica, Undisputed Attitude, Divine Intervention, Decade of Aggression, the live album, Seasons in the Abyss, Sound of Heaven, and Rain and Blood, all in one nifty little box. This is the slip that has them all. So it goes from their early trash, blackened trash, to Diabolos in Musica, the more new metal tinted, I would say. I'll get a few out. They are actually really nicely done sleeve-wise, very sturdy, and they have these, yeah, that pasted on. Not sure how to describe it. It's not envelope style, but it's just, you know, a very sturdy cardboard sleeve. Record-wise, I think they were all 180. Yes, all 10 American recordings albums remastered from the original analog tapes on 180 audiophile vinyl. All original LP artwork. So yeah. Some dirt on there. But there should be some dirt on your Slayer records. Now there's some spittle on there. So yeah, when this popped up, I bought this. I know perfectly where I bought this, at my local record shop. There's a lot of spittle. It also comes with this lyric sheet, as if you need it. Although sometimes I think I know what the lyrics are, and then yeah, I don't know. But yeah, absolute classics. There you go. Hanneman still in the fold. They called it quits, I guess. War Ensemble is on here, one of my favorites. Then there is A Decade of Aggression Live Slayer, which I absolutely love. I have this on CD, or I already sold it, I'm not sure. But yeah, great live recording from 91, but I don't know where. Oh, there. Lakeland Coliseum in Florida, of course, where else. There is this one. Like I said, these are all done to a high degree. Very cool records. I'm showing Slayer records like you haven't seen Slayer records. Diabolos and Musica. God Hates Us All. This is actually a gatefold, and this is the only gatefold in the bunch, I think. Which is weird because there's only one record, so why put a gatefold in there? And there you go. And then the last one, which is, oh, I was wrong. There are two gatefolds in here. This is the last American, I think, World Painted Blood. So yeah, very cool box set. And like I said, once this showed up at my local record store, and it wasn't too expensive, I would think, for, you know, to have everything at once. But yeah. Now, if I do see the first three albums somewhere in their original pressings, I could be tempted to pick them up because yeah, it is fucking Slayer. Then we'll blast through this one because I showed this one. This was a birthday gift from my neighbor. Limited edition gatefold, colored vinyl, 12-inch. Planet Caravan Pantera, a live EP with some Black Sabbath tracks on here. This was done for a UK tour they did. And then some newer trash. I'll show these. Show this grip all at once. And what's the last one? Oh yeah. I don't know what the last one is doing here, but you know. This is Oozing Wound, a newer trash band that there you go. A newer trash band that surfaced, I think, a few years ago. I have some EP. I don't know, is that a split or an EP? Let's dig in. Get High, Fuck, Destroy, Earth Suck. There we go. I think that is wrong how it is in there, because this is the front, this is the back. And yeah, some very good trash. It is more, it has a more punk feel or an indie feel maybe than let's say a Municipal Waste, for example. But yeah, has to do with a lot of ganja. This is the Ganja Gremlin patch that kind of didn't came with the album, but did came with the album. Oh. Hippie Speedball, Going Through the Motions Till I Die, When the Walls Fell, Falls Speak, Earth Suck. So yeah, I love these records to death, especially this Earth Suck record, but I have to admit that it's been a while since I listened to them. We've put them on at one of those nights, but I think it was far in the evening. So that's Earth Suck. Then you have Oozing Wounds with Retrash. This was the album that came before it. I think this was their debut album. There you go. These are all out on Trill Jockey. That's why I mentioned the indie stuff. There is a download code. If you want that, pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up. Sticker. Oozing Wounds. Get fucked. What? Destroy. Then we have a printed inner sleeve with a hamburger. The lyrics. Use a hamburger. Black vinyl. nothing too much. The hamburger again. So yeah, it is trash, so it is a bit of party music, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say more. It's highly intelligent, great live bands, all over the place, but cool record. Cool records they put out. This is, I'm not sure what this is. Kind of looks like a split, and in my mind it is a split. Yeah, Oozing Wound, Black Bus. Black Bus is Brian Chippendale's solo project, I think. I picked this up at a Oozing Wound show or a Black Bus show, I'm not sure. There you go. I think they have a new record, but I need to check because Lightning Bolt also did a new record which I spaced on. This was the last I got from them. What's it called? Whatever Forever, which is a great fucking title. Comes with a bunch of shit. Because Trill Jockey had a moment where they were releasing some awesome limited editions. I have to admit I fell off a bit, but yeah. Once again, a very cool looking gatefold and artwork. There is a astronaut being taken over or taken back by nature, which is my favorite imagery ever. You know, like a building completely taken over by nature again. This is on yellow. Both of them are yellow-orange marbles, and there should be a comic in here, or was that? No, it's here. I would say, or was that a Chippendale thing? But yeah, it's black and white. I think one of the guys does the artwork. I'm not 100% sure. Something like that. So yeah, I showed everything in here or on here. Keep knocking over the coffee. And the lighting. The last thing I'll show, and this is put in here, I don't know why it should be more in the Motorheads section, but it's lost. Maybe it got lost. Bestial fucking War Machine by Butcher. Released to Babylon Doom Cults. This will be a, maybe that's why, coincidence, I don't know. Tomorrow there will be a Babylon Doom Cult update, I think. Side Analog Speed and Metal Cult. Like I said, Belgian speed metal band. Belgian or Dutch? No, I think Belgian. That have a new record out now on Osmos, I think. Yeah, Metal Cult. There we go. You'll pick these guys up, and then yeah, they exploded. Great live bands. I saw them once, I think, at the Boss, my favorite venue. This is the first edition that sold out, which is cool, and then the fact that they are on Osmos kind of helps it, I guess. There is a re-release or a reprint with a more brownish color, a more old blood. This is new blood color, and that should be in there, but I'll fix it. But nice transition to the new collection that will be tomorrow or maybe the day after. Record's done. Pick this up. You heard it now. I hope you heard it a bit. I put the A side on. There is. I'll put the B side on next for me again, because I started with the B side. Yeah, that's it. Anything else? No, just a collection of it. Next up will be, I see stuff pulled out. I think it's Public Enemy and Beastie Boys. That kind of era of hip-hop. We're delving in after the electronic parts. But expect that to come up. That's it. Have a great Tuesday? I'm not sure.